Hey guys, it's Mandy. Welcome to my channel. One of my goals with this channel is just to be really open and honest and just upfront with you guys about the good and the bad and even the really bad of owning rental properties. And I think one thing that could be really helpful is if I show you guys my finances, the business finances in detail. So literally what's going into the account each month and what's going out of the account each month. I think it will just give you a really realistic idea of maintenance cost and things like that. So I'm gonna break it down and we're gonna do January right now. I know it's the middle of February, but yeah, we'll do January expenses. One thing that you do need to know before we get started is this month or this year is going to be a really atypical year. We did buy 7 properties that were in really rough shape, so I knew going into that and going into this year that we probably weren't going to make much money. In fact, we may actually break even by the end of the year, and that's fine. These houses will all be up to standard then, and we'll be doing really well. But first we have to get these properties fixed up and we have to get them up to standard. So I did borrow $300,000. $275,000 of that went to paying for the houses, and a couple thousand extra went to the closing cost. So by the time I had the houses paid for and the closing, we were left with $22,500 to help kind of jumpstart some of these immediate repairs. So at the beginning of January, the first thing that we have going in is the $22,500, and then we have rent payments for the month of January, which was $10,516, and that is 4 owner finance properties. So those properties are already paid for in full, so that those payments are just profit. And then 16 rent houses, which are all paid for except for the new 7, the $300,000 that I borrowed. So with the $22,500 plus the $10,000, that leaves us $33,000 and like $15, $16 in the account. That's what went in for January. And now for the fun part, everything that went out. So the very first thing I pay is my mortgage payment. I pay that to my mom. So that's $2,760 a month. That's a 10-year like loan repayment, so 120 payments of the $2,760, and then we will own all 7 of those houses full out, and I'll have repaid everything to my mom. So I made that payment first, and then the second big payment was the insurance payment for those new houses. And so when I pay my insurance premium, I pay it a year at a time. I just don't like to pay monthly. I don't want to send a check out every month, and I'd rather just get it done with. So I paid $3,021. That's for 6 insurance policies. The 7th house, for some reason, it took longer for them to get all the paperwork done for that one, and so the payment didn't actually go through until February. So that $3,021, that is for 6 of the 7 new houses. Okay, so then the next big thing is roof replacements. On these 7 new houses, we have 3 roofs that needed replaced immediately. And so far I have paid $6,300 towards those roof replacements. It will be a much higher number in February. That's really just like the materials and to hold my place in line. He hadn't actually replaced any roofs by the end of January. But don't worry, in February they'll all be replaced and I will have paid him a lot more money. Next is $195, and that is our rental registration fees. So one of the towns that I own actually the most rental properties in is a suburban improvement district, and we actually have to pay a $15 fee at the beginning of each calendar year for each property that we have that is a rental property. So that's that, and I paid it. The next thing is a water heater replacement. In one of the new houses, the water heater was just really bad, giving them a lot of problems, and it was about to rust through on the bottom actually. So that was $656. So they have a brand new water heater. Then another one of the new houses, the tenants wanted the fireplace inspected, and we had it inspected. That was $54. Let's see, I paid the accountant at the beginning of this year. He does all of our taxes and accounting for the business throughout the year. That was $220. And then on my old houses, there were actually a couple of maintenance things that came up. So one, I had a screen door installed. I had actually already paid for the door and it was being held, but I paid for that back in December, and then I had it installed. It was installed in January, and so that was $180 to have that screen door installed. It was a really heavy screen door, and he took off the old screen door and hauled that off. Then I had a plumbing issue. So this was actually like a big unexpected maintenance thing. I got a call from one of my tenants in one of my original houses, and the plumbing was actually, like, the water was actually backing up into the basement bathroom. And so we sent the plumber out there. It was actually a really big deal. He replaced the pump on the septic system, but it didn't actually fix the problem. We still have to have the septic tank replaced. That's scheduled, and it's going to be replaced if it will just stop raining. It's rained the last 3 days. It's rained every week this entire month. It has rained, and there's no way they can get those big trucks back into the back of the property without getting stuck, unless the ground's gonna dry a little bit, and it's just rained so much that the ground can't dry. So just the plumbing portion of that maintenance was $712. The septic tank replacement will be much higher. We just haven't paid for that yet, and I don't know exactly how much it'll be. They're gonna have to go ahead and dig everything up and see how much of the system needs replaced. $562, that's just supplies. This actually is for the new houses as well. I bought all new smoke alarms for those houses, a toilet handle, and then 10 gallons of exterior paint. One of the tenants, I'm a little bit, I would say in general, do not pay your tenants to do things on your houses. I don't know, it could work well and it could work not well, but one of the new tenants is actually a painter, and he said if I would just buy the paint, he would paint the outside of the house. So I thought, you know, that's a pretty good deal. I went ahead and did that, and so that ended up being, you know, $562 for all the new smoke alarms and the paint and everything. And that is everything except for the last expense, which is actually one of the biggest. I paid $5,000 to our attorney to go ahead and start the foreclosure process on a owner financed property. I've never done anything like this before. I've never evicted anyone. It's not something that I wanted to do, and it's a really unfortunate situation, but they haven't paid. They haven't upheld their end of the contract. Well, they haven't paid their property taxes and in over a year, and they haven't paid anything to me to buy the, you know, their end of the mortgage for over a year as well. So there's not really anything else I can do at this point. I've tried working with them, and all I get, they haven't even paid a penny, not even $1. Like, they haven't tried. And so there's really not anything else I can do about that except for just to foreclose. It's definitely not what I wanted to do, and it's a big expense I didn't want to have to pay, but it's better than just losing the property to the state because they're not going to pay the property taxes. So that's where we're at. That's all of the expenses that went out this month, and that totals up to $19,662, which leaves us with $13,353 for the year. Next month we'll probably spend a whole lot more money, because this month really I was trying to get everything in I could, but a lot of it I just ended up having to schedule because people are just, you know, they're busy, and so they couldn't necessarily fit me in this month. Like the roofer, he's pretty booked up, so that expense will come out next month. And then the septic tank, like I said, he's just waiting for it to quit raining for 1 week, and if it'll quit raining, then he'll be out there to replace that. So next month we'll probably have a lot more expenses, and you'll probably see this account number go in the negative. But just so you know, that's expected. I hope maybe you guys learned something from this video, or maybe you want to tell me I'm doing everything wrong, and that's fine too. You can share your opinion in the comments, whatever you think. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see February expenses, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.